The Haunting of Blackwood Lane, a terrifying Ouija board experience. In the small isolated town of Ravenswood, an old legend lingered like a fog that refused to lift. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the house on Blackwood Lane, an abandoned mansion that had seen better days, now covered in ivy and shrouded in mystery. No one had dared to step foot inside for decades. One chilly October evening, a group of high school friends, Ethan, Maya, Liam, and Sarah, decided to test their courage. They gathered at the edge of Blackwood Lane, armed with flashlights and a Ouija board. "We'll just go in for a few minutes," Ethan assured the group, masking his own trepidation. "It's all just stories." The door creaked open with a sound that sent shivers down their spines. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. Their footsteps echoed through the grand, empty hall. They made their way to the parlor, where an ancient fireplace loomed, cold and lifeless. Sarah spread the Ouija board on the floor. "Are we sure about this?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Don't be a wimp," Liam teased, though his own hands shook as they placed their fingers on the planchette. "Is there anyone here with us?" Maya asked, her voice barely a whisper. For a moment, nothing happened. The silence was oppressive. Then, slowly, the planchette moved. The friends exchanged nervous glances. It spelled out Y-E-S. "Who are you?" Ethan asked, his voice cracking. The planchette moved again, faster this time. I-A-M-T-H-E-M. "Them?" Maya echoed. "Who is them?" Suddenly, the air grew colder. The candles they had lit flickered and then went out, plunging them into darkness. A low, guttural growl resonated through the room, seeming to come from the very walls themselves. Panicked, the friends scrambled to their feet. Ethan fumbled for his flashlight, its beam flickering before stabilizing. In the dim light, they saw a shadowy figure standing in the doorway, a tall, gaunt figure with hollow eyes and a twisted smile. "Run!" Ethan shouted, but the figure was already moving toward them with unnatural speed. They bolted through the house, the figure's footsteps echoing behind them, growing louder and louder. Every door they tried was locked. Every hallway seemed to twist and turn, leading them back to the same place, the parlor. "We're trapped!" Maya cried, tears streaming down her face. Liam pounded on the walls in desperation. "There has to be a way out." The figure appeared again, its skeletal hand reaching out toward them. It pointed to the Ouija board, which now glowed with an eerie light. "What do you want?" Ethan screamed. The planchette moved on its own, spelling out Leave. "We're trying," Sarah sobbed. "We can't get out." The figure's smile widened, a grotesque parody of human expression. It gestured again to the board. "Use it," Ethan realized. "We have to ask it to let us go." They placed their trembling fingers on the planchette once more. "Please, let us leave," Ethan begged. The planchette moved slowly, agonizingly. G.O. Suddenly, the door behind them flew open. Without hesitation, they sprinted out, not stopping until they were far from the house. Gasping for breath, they turned back to see the mansion, now dark and silent, as if nothing had happened. The friends vowed never to speak of that night again, but they could never forget the figure's haunting eyes and its final message on the board. Youarenext. From that night on, the legend of the house on Blackwood Lane grew even darker, and every October the townsfolk noticed that a few more daring souls would vanish, never to be seen again.